We're back in the Talos Principle, Road to Gehenna. Halfway done, just about. Hub 1, Hub 2. We're now on Hub 3, and it's time to just start reading everything that this one has. And I'm wondering if maybe I'm not gonna... Okay, no, this is fine. I was gonna say not gonna want to sit here if the sun is gonna, like, glare in my face, but no, it seems like it'll be fine. So we'll turn that on again, and... I mean, I could just, like, click these ones. I don't have to click right here, so I guess we'll just do that. Ascension. Missing mods again? I understand your concerns. That's what admin said. Admin's grammar's a lot like yours, Borg. Ascension. Okay, here we go. This one. Wait. Back? Yeah, okay. Then I can test some stuff. So let's just go out here, just so that's saved. Okay. There were messages. Would we still be ourselves? Was dead than if we stay here. Reassure them, frighten them, ask for faith. So I mean, I'm probably gonna do frighten them if I'm committing to the Grinch strat, just being really mean and grumpy the entire time, and just kidnapping these people against their will. So I'm sure I did this one, so let's ask for faith. You must have faith in Elohim. I don't know what's more annoying, that the world's ending and you still have faith in that old fool, or that I'm forced to hope you're right. And that's it. Okay, well, that was quick. Frighten them. All who stay here will sink into oblivion. I guess we don't have a choice then. Better an unknown future than no future at all. You're not as stupid as you look, Knave. Thank you! Yeah, Knave is a good person. He just doesn't care about the passive aggressiveness. Alright, I'll stick with that. Let's grab another one. Can I get a +1? I don't know if there's any other +1s I can get from doing anything else. I don't think so. Maybe I'm kind of screwing myself out of it by acting hostile. I don't remember when you do get profile improvements. Apology? Oh yeah, this one. Submissions still open. The tutorial? Oh yeah, we didn't actually do this one that much. Yeah, okay, I was gonna, like, reset so we can get a clean one, but I can always just reset and redo this. I only, like, read one thread. So, what did I do? I don't even remember what I did. Let's do someone else. A character's sex helps determine the sort of challenges and opportunities they might encounter in your story, as well as how other characters will perceive them. Now imagine your character is a little older and experiencing real triumph. What are they doing? Physical prowess, intellectual challenge... Just something you can't even comprehend. Or just a Mary Sue. Let's do this one, like, you wouldn't understand, you're a robot. Understood. Your character's natural aptitude is determined by the sum of their genetic and experimental influences. What sort of an upbringing did your character have? Because yeah, this one was just a thing where we do it once and then we can't do it ever again, right? Or could you do it again and I just didn't? I don't remember. Upbringing, wealthy and nurturing, wealthy but uncaring, or nurturing, poor and uncaring. I guess Uriel sounds like a wealthy but uncaring person right now. According to extensive studies of the genre and of ancient records, social advantage is generally sufficient to offset genetic disadvantage. Genetic advantage will only sometimes offset social disadvantage. In other words, your character's background will have a radical effect on how they think about themselves. I think pretty much all of this is the same. I wonder if it's more about the later stuff when this actually comes into play. I will make a different selection. It is wealthy but uncaring. I will make a different selection. Okay, doesn't care. I'm certain. What will your character suffer? Goes by unharmed, unplanned pregnancy, unplanned death, personal injury, a death in the family. I think I did, like, personal injury, right? Let's just do, like, unplanned death, I guess? Because, I mean, that's... Uriel! He didn't plan to be in debt to Elohim and have to do this thing? It makes sense! This is sounding dramatic already. A character is like an equation. Settle on the opening premises and the conclusion will work itself out. Displaying opening premises. Non-specific sex. Gifted in esoteric ways. Privileged background. Neglectful family. In debt. Ready to generate story. To begin my life with the beginning of my life, I was born at 3 AM on a Wednesday. Detached middle-class parents. My father, though not present for the vital moment, insists on the veracity of the midwife's report. He was, after all, running the hospital at the time, from just down the corridor to hear my mother tell it after a few gins. What? Oh, I see, like, his mother, or, well, their mother, told them when she was drunk that he wasn't even there. Esoteric sex. My childhood was, in retrospect, a difficult period. I found that although my fellows all had a wide variety of different physical appearances and appendages, with varying levels of function, they nonetheless identified a resemblance and bond between themselves, which was to my eyes all but invisible. My parents, aware of my particular situation, had the good foresight to provide me a name ambiguous in matters of sex, and I have continued in that vein ever since. My story became worthy of note as I approached the age of 18. An unsupportive family has driven your character to vice. My parents had taken the opportunity to thrust me out into the world the moment I had turned working age, and what little money I brought in I was reluctant to spend on any but myself. I quickly developed a penchant for gambling, which my butcher's assistant wages could not support. This is kind of a hard thing to read. I'm not like... I need to proofread the sentences before I even read them to know the tone. And found myself significantly in debt to a man I really oughtn't have been. So it was that I found myself seeking a permanent and substantial source of income. I set out to make my fortune. Your character's sex has affected their career options. The range of options available to me was sparse. From a list including, wouldn't it be, like, anything? Because I'm indescribable. We don't know. So I should have all the options open. That's how that works, right? From a list including pot washing and sewing at the mill, I chose to become a secretarial assistant. Huh? It hardly seemed a match to my natural talents, but I was hopeful I could progress up the ranks of the company. However, the work I had seen merely as a stepping stone when I embarked upon it became the totality of my day-to-day existence. It began to feel that every person in society who held a position senior to me was part of a great immovable ceiling, which ever threatened to crush me. Jesus Christ. The talents I had were repeatedly ignored. Weaknesses I never displayed were frequently attributed me. As I write this now, I remain effectively indentured to my creditors. I pay off just enough each week to offset the inflation, so that in truth my debt never has really decreased. It is like an old, maligned uncle, always there, always reminding me how I have failed to fit this world. Though I have by every measure failed in life thus far, I'm convinced my tale holds an important lesson. Be fit for purpose, accept your place. We are owned by others from the moment we first take breath to long after we die. Make of it whatever you can, the end. Wow. That is a pretty depressing story, even though I didn't feel like it had that much depression in the, setup, but okay. Publish that. Oh, that's +6. Or, rank 6. Uriel. Good to see you joining in, Uriel. What a read! I'm not convinced this narrative is extensive enough to truly qualify as a Bildungsroman. And that's it. I wanted to, hear more feedback on it, but I can't really do that, so because I want to test out other stuff. But man, that was, depressing as hell. I don't know if we, get more to that? Do more people talk about it later on. So yeah, the apology again. Let's just do that, and then... yeah, it's this one. So let's just leave here to save. And let's make that Mary Sue. Submission still open. But should the Mary Sue be a Mary Sue or a... what would the equivalent be? A Mark Steve? I don't know. Let's make a Mary Sue straight through. Just a girl that can do anything, has no flaws, and is just better in every way. So yeah. Everything better than everyone else all the time. Your character's natural aptitude is determined by the sum... yeah, okay. Upbringing is wealthy and nurturing. Uh-huh. What will your character suffer? Nope, unharmed, nothing happens. Female, Wunderkind, privileged background, caring family, uninteresting. Ready to generate story. Go. To begin my life with the beginning of my life, I was born at 3 AM on a Wednesday. That doesn't seem to change. Wealthy parents. My father owning, as he did, the nearby textiles factory and having the luxury of deciding his own hours, insists he was present, albeit at a safe distance. Your character's exceptional nurture has been honed by good education. My childhood was the happiest time of my life. I was unharried by academic work, captain of the soccer team, and the center of attention. My story became worthy of note as I approached the age of 18. Your character faced no overwhelming obstacle in their life. Although it is customary for these tales to begin with some great calamity befalling the protagonist, my experience is unique for sparing me any such thing. Perhaps my more cynical readers will switch off now, but they shan't be missed, for not every story needs complication and drama. Life well lived ought be every bit as special. Well, that's a positive way to spin it. It does, however, make the story rather short. I lived happily ever after. Amazing. I don't think... is it Frankenstein that is, like, the one that is so harsh? Or was it someone else? I forget. He is not going to like this. What a read! Ah. So that's just the same regardless, I guess? Oh, that's a bit of a shame. Let's see, is there anything else I would really want to try? Tutorial. I'm a boy. Intellectual, I guess? And poor but nurturing. I think I might have chosen that already the last time. I guess pregnancy? Yeah, let's do an unplanned pregnancy. Male, intellectually gifted, low wealth background, caring family. Someone has a bun in the oven. Great. Because I'm smart, but this is putting a bit of a, like, road bump in my plans. I have to think about how to fix this all. Fix my life. Fiscally deprived childhood. My father, as he is always careful to point out, is only able to report the midwife's account, seeing how he was pulling a long shift at the nearby textiles mill to pay for a second-hand cot. Your character's abilities have been squandered by poor education. My childhood was an unremarkable affair. I attended a local school, I found the work to be trivial, and I frequently found myself on the wrong side of my self-proclaimed betters. Wait, did I, like, basically just do the same thing as I did the first time? I think I was, like, a girl, intellectually gifted, poor but nurturing. I think I probably just made basically the same thing, and then it was, like, a physical injury that I chose, and now it's just pregnancy instead. Oops! I just don't remember. Physical makeup has affected someone else's chances in life. I had met a girl of quite remarkable qualities the previous summer, and I can tell you I was mighty surprised to see her again, and even more so to learn that she had a permanent souvenir of our relationship growing inside of her. Your character's childhood has made them nurturing. It was in that moment that my responsibilities within the world fell down heavily upon me. I realized I owed this child, by my irresponsibility, at least as good a chance in life when it was born as I had. preferably substantially better. So it was that I found myself seeking a permanent and substantial source of income. Characters' education has limited their career options. Moved furniture, caught ferrets, volunteered for human trials. Whatever work didn't quite fit into anyone else's niche. However, the work I had seen merely as a stepping stone when I embarked. Yep. Your character kept their child and did their best. I succeeded in educating my son, but recent events have suggested I did not do well enough. 17 years old, and he has made his parents' mistakes and gotten one of his schoolmates pregnant. Ah, shit. Time repeats itself. We learn no lessons. It seems I shall not retire anytime soon. The end. Can you make, like, a happy but good story in this? I mean, I guess I kind of did last time, right? Like, that one wasn't terrible. I don't really remember. And yeah, this is the same. I'm gonna go through, like, a couple more of these. We might as well. I'm a boy. I have physical prowess. I'm wealthy and nurturing. This is like the classic. So wealthy and nurturing, and then a physical injury, personal injury. And then we'll do death in the family later. Yeah. Everything was going great. My life was perfect until that, like, football incident where I got tackled and broke a leg and I could never play football again. And everything went downhill. Albeit at a safe distance. My childhood was an unremarkable affair. They sent me to the best boarding schools where I was exercised regularly, excelled on the field, and was dragged kicking and screaming through my exams. Personal injury. It is true that people are sculpted both by their nature and what befalls them. And in my case, it may be more true than most. Yeah, this is the same as I've read. The person that I am today is defined by what had been taken away from the person I was. I lost my left leg in a fairground accident. The Ferris wheel unexpectedly reversed, and it was snapped between my carriage and the platform's edge. I was fortunate to receive the best surgical attention in the country, courtesy of my father's insurance. And a fine false leg which I wear to this day. The leg reminds me, you see, of the true value of wealth. It can repair a damaged body, it can save a life, it can provide a lifetime of happiness, or make life miserable for another. I resolved that day to earn a fortune of my own. Money solves all problems. Your character's privileged background has enabled them to find high-paying work. I took work as an insurance broker in the city. Your character's skill set is a good match for their work. I performed with flair, getting ahead in insurance. I learned wasn't unlike getting ahead in school, and those lessons had been drilled into me quite firmly. I shook hands, I greased palms, I played a lot of golf, and I made a lot of money. At the time, it felt like a good time. Your character's upbringing gave them empathy and the opportunity to make a difference. While many stories might end there as the protagonist sails into the sunset, mine took one final and important turn. I saw a homeless man eating from garbage outside the golf club, and then I watched as he was dragged away like an animal by the security guards. I realized no human being deserved such extreme treatment, and then I understood that I was a living example of the other end of that spectrum, the pampered wealthy telling others that we earned it. I wasn't better equipped for this world than anyone else, I just got lucky. I didn't deserve better than anyone else. That was just the way it worked out. To this day, I'm coming to terms with the implication of these conclusions. I am not yet the person I should be, but one day I shall be, and then I shall call on you to be too. The end. I mean, that's kind of a good story. I thought it would be more like cliche. I mean, I guess it kind of is, but yeah, that's not bad. I kind of like that one. I'm just gonna do this again, just confirm, like, there's never any difference. Yeah, still 4 out of 10. I mean, this would take a long time to do every single eventuality. Like, okay, you get them pregnant, you're male or you're female, you would have to do every upbringing for that specific thing, like wealthy and nurturing, not wealthy and nurturing, because if you're wealthy and not nurturing, you have the means to provide for the kid, but you're not nurturing, so you wouldn't care, I guess. And yeah, this seems like it would have a lot of different branches compared to some of the other things we've seen. So I'm not sure I want to go through all of them, but I am kind of curious. So let's do a girl. I guess just like this or something. And then death in the family. Yeah, I kind of want to test like all of these, honestly. Wealthy and nurturing. And then a death in the family. Okay, let's see. Uh-huh. Poor match for the world they live in. Really? My childhood was, in retrospect, a miserable period. It seemed that while everyone else had their place and purpose, I was an outsider in their system. Why is this happening? Because of the, like, you can't understand it? The ancient things can't comprehend it? I was not minded for geography or mathematics, or football, and yet I was unable to put into words precisely what I was minded for. My mother and I had always shared a close relationship, and so it was that a part of me died the day that she left this world. She did, however, leave me a quite sizable inheritance, which, if I may be unsubtle about it, left me in a position where the only work I should have to do for the rest of my life would be deciding how best to spend it. Great! I first made for France, then journeyed east, discovering my costs decreased the further from home I travelled. I saw how differently people lived, and in some cases how poorly. What began as adventure became a mission. I devoted years of my life to helping those less fortunate than myself. I saw myself as part of a greater project, and it was good. Given the right series of circumstances, anyone can come to see the world in a more humane way. Given the wrong series of circumstances, anyone can lose their humanity. Our lifelong task is to keep the balance. The end. Okay, I mean, that's pretty good too. Let's just start from scratch again. So, I mean, let's just, like, do kind of the same things, like, a little bit different. So then we'll do wealthy but uncaring. And then a death in the family. I mean, I guess I have to, like, change just one variable every time if I really want to see everything. And I might not do that. Yeah, this is the same. Happiest time of my life. Callous. My mother never much cared for me. I feel I must note, nor I for her. And as I neared adulthood, in the eyes of the world, our relationship only soured. So it was that when she unexpectedly popped her clogs one morning over breakfast, I was not immediately very moved. She did, however, leave me a quite sizable inheritance. Well, that's nice. I thought that would, like, she wouldn't leave you an inheritance in this. I first made for France. Oh, I see. I took full advantage of the situation, pillaging local foods and exotic materials wherever I went. The world was mine to claim. Today I'm old and fat, but still I consume, and I will die consuming. I will be none the wiser, but I will be clutching at true satisfaction. The end. Yeah, okay. So then, if you're a boy instead, and we do the same thing, is it still the mother, or is it the father at that point? I'm an intellectual. And poor but nurturing. Death in the family. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh. Unfortunately, her passing was quite ill-timed with every respect, and it's just mother every time. My father was barely bringing in enough money to feed himself, and I found myself both motherless and penniless in alarmingly short order. So it was that I found myself seeking a permanent, yep. Okay, that's just the same as we've read before, pretty much. What else? Someone else that is, physical and poor and uncaring. And I'm just a stud with no money, banging chicks and knocking them up. Well, I guess banging non-specific gendered people or sex people and knocking some of them up. Okay, here we go. Deprived childhood. Neither my father nor mother is able to confirm this, being as they were inebriated on alcohol and epidurals, respectively. My birth certificate was lost many years ago. I don't doubt to some back alley counterfeiter. Yeah, that's the same. I had met a boy of quite remarkable qualities. That's interesting. Is that random, or is it always boy if you're undetermined? Permanent souvenir. I was with child. Your character's sex is not a straightforward matter. It's complicated. Whether such a thing was even possible for someone in my situation was until that moment a lively topic of debate amongst my doctors. Oh, I see. From then it shifted to the altogether more morbid matter of whether or not the child would come out the other end intact. Intact, not intact? Your character's means have affected their chance of success. I was for a time fixated on finding the father, until I realized it was a hopeless task. Once he was born, I press-ganged relatives into caring for the child as I went out to work in an attempt to pay for his education. But you weren't caring. Wouldn't you just, give him up or something? Sex has affected their career options. Your character kept their child and did their best. I succeeded in educating my son, but recent events have suggested I did not do well enough. Yeah, time repeats itself. Well, shit. Well, I mean, I think this is kind of everything. I don't know what else I would want to do. A girl that is physically fit. Wealthy but uncaring, I guess. And then just goes by unharmed. His debt. This is just gonna be the same, I think. Wealthy and nurturing. Wait, I should have done the other one. Because yeah, now this is the same. Oh, okay, this is new. Met a girl. Yeah. Money comes first in your character's family. Though I was quite fond of her, my parents took an instant aversion to the girl, which I later learned was due to their suspicion that she was after their money. This explanation has always confounded me, for as I understand it, they paid her quite a sum to disappear. It was this lesson which taught me the true value of money. Performed with flair. Homeless man. Okay. So they just sweep it under the rug. Somehow. But what if we do... One last thing. I'm a girl this time. And I'm smart. And I'm wealthy but uncaring. And then unplanned pregnancy. My parents insisted the most forward-thinking course of action was to terminate the pregnancy, for my sake and the child's. I wasn't ready to be a parent. I went along with it, but I never forgot it. Years later I looked back and wondered whether the decision had truly been mine. Perhaps it was this which compelled me to travel far away instead of take the desk job that had been lined up for me. I had to discover myself. The world was mine to claim. I'm fat. Old. Okay, this one sucks. This is a terrible story, but let's go for that. Whatever. We're done. So, there's some interesting things here, but not really too much different, given each thing, each choice. But yeah, there we go. That was the Choose Your Own Adventure character creation. We'll continue on next time. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.